Okay, it says you are live, and so hi everybody. Let's play pinball. And it was easier, so to speak, getting this earlier in the day when where was it? I bought the. I actually I think I put this on YouTube in the morning, where I bought this for $1.70, and now it's 270. But I jumped out at 385 over here. That just seemed like a good place to jump out. That's this one here. So anyway, let's play pinball. Let's see where we are and let's see where we're going. And for that, first things first, let's look at trust the options depth, and we'll look at charm in a second. Let me go on my other computer and pull this up. All right, so this over here either goes in the money or out of the money, or people flip that, and that's going to be what kind of the first the first tell. Those 75s are still there. They're still there. If you were following along in the morning, I don't know why it's not. Oh, I see. I got this set wrong. Hold on. Hold on, folks. You got to see it. Oh, my God. This is still set. I haven't been on this one yet. 60. Let's just go 6305. Okay, now it's centered better. So this zone that we're in here, so this 6260 keeps on flipping. People buying them, selling them. So there's trading action right here. Here's the 75s, and these are going to decay kind of down to nothing. And that's kind of going to be that suppressive charm above us. And here's where the action is. So let's see what we got here. See, this was at the beginning of the day. Let's put on markers, though. There you go. When you put on markers, you can see the difference. So looks like we're not supposed to get over 60. I mean, 50 would be a nice, neat pin, wouldn't it? Or 55. You know, all this suppressive stuff right here. I mean, it looks like it's supposed to be a down goes Fraser moment. We got Joel here looking at 55 also. I don't like the way this gets is poorly articulated here. So, all right, so now we're starting to see something develop in here. But this guy isn't showing us much. That's okay. We can use our common sense. If we could get over this, then we can get one of those crazy end of day bars where we would whoosh up. I'd say that we kind of stay in the zone here for now. I got somebody here in private chat. Can you still hear me? No, I can't hear you, David. To hear you, I'd have to do this. Now I'd be able to hear you. So subscribers to the Substack, and it's not just David, any subscriber to the Substack, I have room for 10 people, so it's 10 first come, first serve. You could come live on TV, on YouTube, and do Pinball Live. So let's take a look at something else. So the deltas on those 75 are nothing, brother. They don't matter. The 75s are a big red angry cloud, but they don't mean anything. So what matters? Maybe the 65, the 60. So the 60 can flip. That has a lot of gamma. So if we get over there, that can flip. If that becomes a 50 delta, the rate of change, this will change, this will change. 65, 17 delta, maybe. Still a half hour to go, so there's a lot that can move.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
I'm looking at the positional insights, and I noticed today that everything, you know how we've been stuck at this price 55, 62.55 roughly.
Right.
It looks like, looking at positional insights, market makers are long a whole stack of puts just below that price, and they're
Exactly. Yes, correct.
and they're short a whole stack of calls just above it. So if
Correct.
price goes up, their deltas increase. If price goes down, their deltas increase because they're puts. So they're kind of trapped where they are. They can't go either way.
Yeah, they're kind of trapped where they are.
Okay.
It
Yeah.
becomes a math problem,
Yeah.
for lack of a better word, and we just figure that they're doing the math here for us.
So that's why the price has remained stuck where it's at. I'm assuming for the last hour or two.
Yeah, because and and that's actually a good explanation. I hope people can follow that. Let me that's a very good explanation, David. Let me see if we can see that a little more clearly. So if price, okay, so something just shifted here. Somebody just closed something when, somebody just bought some 55 calls, it looks like, or bought
Yeah.
back or whatever is going on here. You see, saw that shift. But as a explainer, if we go down, market makers have to kind of buy to hedge all this out. If we start to go up, once again, right here we have that stall at 60, and they have to start buying for this. But then as soon as we stall, then they sell.
Yeah. It's the same reaction either way. Short puts and long calls are basically the same.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, 100%. From the market maker's point of view, they're just hedging their delta.
Yep. Yeah, that's it. I just wanted to get clarification on that. That's what I thought, but I wanted to confirm that.
And since we're at the end of the day, delta's going to gamma's going to imagine a lot more than position number, and this gives you a clearer picture. So here's your fly right here. The market makers have a fly right here.
Let's see, gamma.
Yeah. See that?
I do now. Yes, I do.
They got a fly. Yeah, catch 22. That's right.
And it looks like it's positioned exactly where it needs to be.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like set up beautifully.
Yeah.
So let's just see for fun. Let's make it a put fly. Just So we're thinking it's going to end up here, right? 55, is that what we're thinking?
It looks like looking at this, it looks, yeah, 55.
All right, I'll throw 120 bucks at it if we can get it. Pay an extra nickel.
And you know what? That's only because that 55 just,
All right, now I got the closing order thing loaded here. And I can't even close this. There's no bid on that. Those were 65 cents on that downturn. That was one of those wish trades I put in the morning and just left there.
mm-hmm.
I mean, so clearly we want 55. And even if we go, to 52, whatever, that's where this would start losing money. I'm not really that worried about it. Like I said, it's a small trade, and I can always close it later. So that was done for science, folks. And yeah, I do that.
I think based on what we can see here, it's going to be a winner.
Yeah, it should be, right?
Yeah.
Should be a winner right here. And now we're in that. So the only thing that, if now we have the Greek dance of these, the stall factor of these versus the pull of these.
Mm-hmm.
And that looks like this, like to the eye, that it might net itself out. It's not as clean as we've had other days where we got the pin perfectly the last few days last week. It was a much cleaner setup. You see here, this is still a mess. This is still a mess.
Yeah. It looks like the price is just skirting the edge between negative and positive, where it's as neutral as possible.
Okay, this is gamma. Okay. So let's zoom in here on where the action is.
Yeah, that's what I did.
See the way it can kind of duck into here? And that's kind of what one of the viewers said. If we can get over here, then we might get a little mechanical buying pulling us up. Pulling us right up to here.
Yeah.
Could get that. Now I'm not rooting for that anymore. Okay. How sustainable is the idea of this strategy? Which strategy? The strategy of using market makers' positions to get a pin is very sustainable. Are
Yeah.
you going to get it right all the time? No. Are you going to typically, depending on how much you buy them for? Let's say you buy them for a buck or a buck 50, depending how wide you make them. You're going to lose maybe half the time, and when you win, you're going to make 3 to 1. If you really are good, you'll make 5 to 1, or and so it goes. And not every day is the pin as no offense taken, not at all, none taken whatsoever. I mean, why not technicals? Okay, very good question. I don't know if you saw my broadcast area either. Technicals, what are the technicals telling us? Let's take a quick look at a chart. See, I like this. The technicals are telling us that we might stall out, that we have a price void that could maybe pull us up to here, depending on like how you parse your technicals. What gamma is telling us is that there's forced selling by market makers over here that adds strength to that as resistance, but there's also forced buying overhead that could pull us right through. So, what are your technicals telling you?
Hey, Doc, I got something simple.
A
The
win
way I
rate, a win rate of that's great. That's great. So, what do you see? Hold on one second. What do you see? Code zero Z, whatever your. There's more than one road to enlightenment, as the Buddha said. Um, there's more than one way to skin the cat, as Grandma said. What do you see? Go ahead. Somebody want to say something?
I was going to say, to me, technicals are backwards looking, whereas gamma is forward looking. That's the difference, in my opinion, between the two.
Oh, that makes
Technicals,
you
technicals will tell you what has happened already. Gamma tells you what's going to happen.
okay. Yeah. Let me. So you were talking about a win rate of whatever it was. Were you talking about on butterflies, or are you talking about on what are you talking about? Yeah, I mean most of my trades are zero DTE or 1 or 2 days. Right. So the depth that this gives you and that gives me is this is a prescription. Okay. Call wall and put wall and all. Is it worth it? I think so. It is for me. And the term call wall and put wall is kind of oversimplification for marketing purposes, if I can be a tad cynical. It depends what the wall is made of. So, just following that metaphor, a wall made of steel and a wall made of straw is not the same wall. And a wall made of hay, when the market's on fire, is very different than a wall made of asbestos. And so right now we don't have quite the wall of hay that we had there. I'm not getting you wrong at all. Please, I don't mind dialogue. I don't mind engagement on a public forum. I'm not, I'm, you know, I'm totally happy to be authentic, and I'm happy to be wrong. Another Buddhist thing, if we want to get into the weeds a little bit. My understanding is that being open minded and finding out I'm wrong or I was mistaken would lead to joy. Oh, wow, I was wrong. Insight, on a very small, tiny level. And so I don't mind being challenged. I don't mind finding out that my view, that I didn't have a right view. That's fine. That's fine. So meanwhile, see that? And who was it that said that? So here's where the gamma, and so we had somebody that say that. My point is, why not use? I use technicals confluence all the time. I'm sorry, maybe I misunderstood. I did a whole webinar this morning with Master Trader. I mean at noon, talking about using technicals as confluence with gamma. Let me find it. I'll put it in the chat. Here it is, right here. I'm gonna put it in the chat right here. It's okay. There you go. There it is. We did a whole webinar on it just today at noon. We did a whole webinar on it. You're welcome. You're welcome. I appreciate you bringing up the topic. Totally, totally. And see, can we slip through there? So I'm not. I want to leave this three-way view. So, but as you can see, it looks like we could slip through the crack here and scoop up there. So now IV is going to tell us a lot about how that's going to happen. End of day market on close orders, real money matters. But just looking at what we see here, just looking at this, right now, this is what's controlling the day. Now, how many contracts are there? I need more screens than I got. Oh, thank you. You're welcome. Happy to do it. One more question. Sure, go ahead. Is that not similar to market profile? Well, market profile is, I'm not a big market profile expert. I'm a tourist at best. I read like that one book. I forgot the market maker profile guru's name. I read one of his books. Yeah, yes, it shows where the volume is. So it's similar that it shows where the volume is, but it's a different thing. This isn't showing you a volume of people buying E-mini or market profile on a stock. This is showing you a market profile, we could call it, of the market maker's position. And we know that this is a prescription. Market makers, by nature of their equipment, their machines, their algos, whatever, have to buy and sell this. Otherwise, they lose money, and they're not going to do that. Yeah, Dalton, that's the name. That's the name. So it's a profile of something different. It's a profile of the market makers, basically automatic hedging. Okay, so yes, can we get this real time? Okay, so what this does, this updates every 10 minutes from the CBOE. So I'm not sure when the last price slice update was. There'll be another update, and it's a CBOE tag date, and they do whatever quanti mathy software stuff. Yeah, market makers are liquidity providers, exactly. Okay, so I suppose there's a way to play that game too. Market profile will show pending orders. That's a good point. But let's just get to this for a second. I lost my train of thought here. That's all right. Okay, so can we get this real time? So this is real time. This is real time tag data. So every 10 minutes we get the update of what the customer's current positions are. Yeah, I think they are trustworthy. Yeah. Oh, okay. Hi. I see who it is. Let me see what we got here. Okay, so we don't need to see this crap down at 6170. So let's just get it out of the way. Let's just go 6210 for fun. It's a little cleaner. And you see, we got that same decision point in here. Am I an affiliate? I've been with Option Depth since before they went public. Yeah, I have an affiliate link. I think you should get a subscription. I got it. Let me find you an affiliate link. Hold on. Now, you are you looking at? Hey, if we could find people that can kind of keep track of market profile and orders in the book on these options, and if you see a big, and I used to do that before I had Gamma. I used to look at like the bid size and ask size of like the stuff near the money. You're giving me PTSD. I'm remembering how I used to do it and kind of try to figure that out. Okay, here's the options app. I mean, if you're trading SPX or even E-mini seriously, then I don't know that there's much that can give you a better edge than this. Mentor Q has other data. Hold on. Yes. Okay. Yes. I've got to sign some checks here. 'Cause I'm not going to Florida, but my beloved is. She's got something she's doing. And so, here you go, sweetie. Okay. Yeah. There's a real person behind this. Yes. Love you too. I'm learning that your levels are a great roadmap. Thank you. Okay. Someone who is getting started in Gamma. Um, I'm actually working on some content for that. I mean, there's tons of stuff out there, but a lot of it gets just a little too quanty and technical. You know, from a trader point of view, there's a few things to look at. Yeah, it's quite technical. Sometimes you can lose sight of the forest for the trees. You meant to. I still do stuff with them. They're great. They give on a real simple level. You know, especially if you want to like combine with TA or whatever. And especially I'll tell you. So mental cues, the roadmap kind of shows you this. But what it doesn't show you is how we might break through as we are. So who was it that said we might break through 60? Who was it? Give that man a cigar. Who was it that said that? Here we are. Good eye. Good eye. I don't know if this is stuck here. Something looks like it's. There we are. See, now we're getting that mechanical buying. Look at that. Those 70. See, here's what happened. Boom. Look at this. Now we're in the short gamma. That that fly structure is gone. Those whatever the short calls were are gone. Now that doesn't mean that the people that held them, that had them, closed them or didn't close them. It doesn't matter who did what. What matters is that buyers came in. wherever the short was at 60, wherever it was, buyers came in and started buying the 60 calls, more than aggregate was short, and suddenly we start pushing up. These 75s are still in the game too. So now we have an interesting setup. We have a very interesting setup. So let's go over here. Come on. No, let's not go to that one. I don't want to mess that one up. I want to go here. Let's look at this one here. Here we go. There it is. So now the question is, do these people, which people? Come on. While we're waiting for something to load. Do the people that bought those 60 calls, are they going to hold on to them to the close? Are these people here going to sell them and push us down, or are they going to hold on into the close? And there's no way we could predict the human behavior part. So that shows us the gamma. How many contracts are involved in this drama? Position number. Come on. Oh, okay. So 2,000. Market makers are short 2,000 contracts here. You know, and that was the high of the day. There go your technicals. Oh crap! I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I was talking to the wind. There go your technicals. If I remember correctly, this was the high of the day. Now it's 2,000 contracts, but that's not chopped liver. Oh, now I have this cheap lottery ticket that I bought. No, it's still worthless. Okay. And that's worthless. Okay, well, that's worthless. That's gone. Oh, well. So let's get back to the action. Oh, we got 1 minute. Okay, so this likely charms up these out of the money options that are whatever delta. Let's watch the deltas change. So okay, so these 65 go to zero delta. Well, it doesn't change now. Okay, and that's it. I would suggest options depth. And we are at the top of the implied move for the day. That is correct. Did we outperform? The implied move for today was around 25 ish. Depends if you measured it last night or this morning. I have it in my notes. The option depth is going to give you pure SPX. It's going to give you the real data. Yeah, I'm using option. Tasty, I just use for this demo stuff. I use Thinkorswim for my real trades, quote unquote. Right, it was 22. Yeah, I remember it was in that ballpark at the open. And so we opened at, so it looks like we might see the icy whale again. We might see the icy whale again. So let's take a look. If we see the icy whale, we would see him around here. So I'm going to do my own, not quite as aggressive as the icy whale trade. I like to do one of these, 70 cents. And down here, not going to go a little higher. He might be here at 20. He likes to do a 20 delta. So he might be even at, he would probably be at 80 if he's there. Oh, you're not naive. Who are you kidding? That sounds like false modesty to me. You can catch up. You're a smart guy, I can tell. A futures guy, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's, yes, naive in terms of this whole gamma options things. And we have a lot of people from the futures area that are joining the dark side, that are coming to gamma. A lot of them still stay with futures, but it just gives them an edge. Now, I want to show you guys something else while I got you here while I'm babbling. Let me just stop that. The top of chop. Yep, that was in the morning. That was in the morning note. And this went to the subscribers. Reversal trigger. Look at that. Where'd we reverse? Who said that? Oh, that was me. But what I wanted to show you, not to brag. I'm not bragging. This is option depth. This is just I had good mentors in this stuff. And I can go from Brent at Spot Gamma, then I can go to Paul Duncan at Gamma Edge, Carson at Vol Signals, the people at Options App, some of the people that I kind of traded with along the way. You know, I've had plenty of mentors along the way. Okay, so what I like to do is after the market close, look at what we're doing, and this one just shows it. This is showing SPX, but it's kind of converting E-mini to SPX. Since I'm an SPX trader, I kind of like at some point, every wrinkle on the SPX chain and on the surface. What we sometimes see is at the end of the day, after a gamma-induced move or a charm-induced move, a 5 or 10 point drop pretty fast. And we're seeing a little bit of a pullback here. So how much of that buying was mechanical and how much of it might be real money buying? And right now you still don't know because traders like you, futures, the inflection point at the all-time high was institutional, yeah, institutional traders. And if we would go through that, then we would expect a whole new battery of trend followers. Plus, in the morning, if we went through that 75, that was the next level. So it was kind of your TA confluence sort of thing, where you had positioning there and you have a mental marker there, so to speak. And the inflection point I have up at 6,300, if it got through there, then we'd have to stall through this. Then that would be the next level where there'd be big positioning, institutional traders. Oh, and I don't have that. So this is part of. Where do I have it? I have it here somewhere. I have a. This is a PowerPoint, and I got something else that I'm putting together that's going to be doing that. That what I'll be doing. Truthfully, I'm not great with PowerPoint. That's why I also have it on a PDF. It's easier for me. Okay, I'm gonna go, and my premium people will be doing something live at 7:30, probably either on Discord or StreamYard, whichever one I can figure out how to do best. Divergence in what way? Hold on. I know I had this here somewhere. I can't find what I was looking for now. Okay, I'll just leave it there. Yeah, Denver's been with me for a while. And look at that. Right on that. You see that? You can't make this shit up. Right on that. Let me find a clear one. Where'd we go? Right below that suppressive charm. And the 60 opened up as those calls went ITM. Somebody had a good call. Yeah, I plan to. That's going to go in the Discord. That's going to go in the Discord. So if I do it on YouTube, I'll be able to. I don't think I can do it on Discord. That's why I'm leaning toward doing it on StreamYard, even though it might be an extra couple of clicks for me to figure out how to do it best. So the short answer is yes. The long answer is I'll have to figure it out. Okay, great. Thanks a lot, everybody. That was fun. I appreciate the back and forth. Truly, I do. And I appreciate the questions and stuff. I appreciate the questions. You know, the questions, I don't know if we want to call it challenging, but, the, uh, the back and forth, the dialogue makes everybody a better trader. Makes everybody a better trader. Okay, everybody, thanks a lot. YouTube and Twitter, I hope there's some people watching. And take care.